Hey champions, this is Arian Tyson out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm just coming back at you to shoot a video on this beautiful Sunday here in the STL. It is going to be a warm one. I'm trusting that your weekend has been productive, that it's been peaceful, and I just want to encourage you today, and I will keep this as brief as possible. I wanted to encourage you and let you know that everything that you need to make your dreams come true is in you. Everything that you need is inside of you. The question is, when are you going to let it out? And let me be clear. We all have some semblance of greatness inside of us, and a lot of times we don't know it until our back is against the wall, because it's when our back is against the wall that we find ourselves in unfamiliar territory, and we find ourselves doing things or having to do things that we never thought that we could do. You really find out, the true measure of who you are when your back is against the wall. And that's why we need to be thankful for our struggles. We need to be thankful for things that may not always go in our favor, in addition to, when things do go in our favor. And the thing about it is, it's easy to smile when everything is going well. But when you have the ability to smile, even when it feels like all hell is breaking loose, even when it feels like you don't even know how you're going to be able to see your way through the storm, you have the ability to really find out what you're made of, and you really will surprise yourself. And the reason that I can say that and articulate myself from that perspective is because I am a witness to it. I am a witness to it. And I think about many friends of mine that have gone through rough spells recently. I had a good friend of mine named Linnea. She lost her grandmother recently, and it was just, I was fortunate, and I was thankful that I was able to encourage her, to let her know that, it's time for you to move. It's time for you to move forward. And God knows that you have what it takes in you to move forward, to be successful, to get where you want to be for where she wants to be for her and her family, because God created her. So, and not only that, her grandmother nurtured her. So, with that being said, it's important that we unleash the things that are in us, because we just don't know who we're going to bless. But we have to be willing to get past our fears. And oftentimes a shift will occur to where a lot of people have this fear of failing, but it turns into really they have a fear of being successful. Because of course, where much is given, much is required. So, of course, when you become successful, and I didn't say if, I didn't say might, I didn't say maybe. When you become successful, there are responsibilities that come with being successful. You're gonna be judged with a higher level of scrutiny, no matter how fair or unfair it is. And in large part, it's very unfair. But do you have what it takes to weather the storm? Do you have what it takes to continue to go forward, even when people turn their back on you, even when people think that you're not, that you've changed and all this other stuff? And what gets me is The only thing that's not supposed to change is your foundation and your belief in God. And if anything, your belief in God should be strengthened. But if you've been through some things, like I've been through some things, yeah, change is inevitable. Because if you don't change, and if you don't recognize the importance of changing, you would die a slow and meaningless death. You would die slowly. Your dreams will die. Your passion will die. Your ability to bless others will slowly die, and ultimately you will die. So you have to be careful not to allow that to happen. And it's a lot of people that's going through life existing. Why? Because they have allowed themselves to die prematurely. They've allowed their dreams to die prematurely. So I encourage you today that no matter what the storms of life may bring, you have to be willing to go forward. You have to be willing to push through and understand, as long as you have breath in your body, there is life after what we go through. There is life after every storm, no matter how hurtful it may be. There is life after this. There is a lesson to be learned from everything that we go through, no matter how wrong, no matter how egregious it is. And when you find yourself aligning yourself around people that have been where you've been, that have hurt like you've hurt, that have lost people like you've lost people, that have been down the same road that you've been down, you find strength in that. Because why? You're able to know that you are not alone. It's like you may feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. You're not alone. But you have to be willing to tell your story. Don't be ashamed of what has happened to you. Don't be ashamed to tell your story. Don't be ashamed to let people know your scars, because it's your scars that's what's going to attract people to you. It's not necessarily what you have. That may happen, that may work temporarily, but for those people in your life that have staying power, if you ask them and they're honest with you, they're going to say it's not because of what you have. It's because of the fact that you're willing to be transparent, that you're willing to become vulnerable and tell people what you've gone through. But you know what? I didn't stay there. I was able, by the grace of God, to tap into an inner strength that I didn't know I had. So that's what I encourage you to do today. I know this is kind of it's a different type of video, but nevertheless, it was laid on my heart to say, and that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't know who this video is going to bless, but I know it's going to bless somebody. And as long as it blesses one person, then I know that it's not in vain. And so, but for those of you who are willing to go after your dreams wholeheartedly and unapologetically, for those of you who are willing to be transparent and be able to tell your story, people always want the glory, but they don't know the story behind the glory. If you're not afraid to tell your story, then I challenge you to lock arms with me, and I challenge you to join the team. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself in a community of like-minded individuals, with a community of champions, locked to a team, locked to the arms of a team that have each had their own individual struggles, who are not afraid to talk about their own individual storms. But they have found a way to be a blessing to others by telling their story. And as a result, they have been able to show people that there's another way, that there is a better way. And if that's something that resonates with you, then I challenge you to click the link below this video. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.